Moving on to Night 3, the opponent of Night 2 in the battle to see which is the better show. And it has an uphill battle to climb, I will say that, but does it reach that point? It definitely does. Let's get right to it. We opened up with Team Osaka Pro versus the Colony. This was just probably the best opener of the weekend. I know I expressed a lot of admiration for the Brody Lee Grizzly Redwood match, but this was even more fun, even though it was short like that match. But very short, very sweet, and to the point. The Osaka Pro guys still lightning fast. Great finish, I will say that. Great finish, just kind of unexpected as well. And even better in that it led up to a great spot in the main event. And when the match was over and the Colony won and the Osaka Pro guys were left in the ring, I thought to myself, okay, this will be the last time I'm going to see these guys. I'm actually kind of disappointed because I actually got attached to these guys over the last 3 matches I've seen them in. And then as soon as that thought comes into my head, you have the fans chanting, please come back, please come back. It's like one mind. It really is. It's like one mind when it comes to Chikara fans, in some cases, like that, where you think something, and then everyone else shares your thoughts like that. That was kind of made me feel warm and fuzzy inside a little bit. That was kind of nice. Then we got to the B.D.K team of Claudio, Ares, and Tursas versus Team Big Japan. This was good. This was quite good, I would say. Probably the highlight of this match was the German suplex spot where one of the Big Japan guys, heavens knows I can't remember his name, but one of the Big Japan guys had Tursas ready for a German suplex, and by God, I was ready for that to happen, and then it didn't happen because of Ares, and I was kind of furious at that, in a good heel way, of course. Much more into it after that, I would say, and then it ended a few minutes later, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of a different match where that happened, where I was really into it, and then it kind of ended out of nowhere. It might have been that one, I can't actually remember. But that was still fun, and this was a good match. Again, appreciation for Big Japan guys after I realised they were done. So that was kind of there, that was kind of good too. Then we got to Chuck Taylor versus El Oriental. This was kind of fun, this was kind of good. Chuck Taylor has a lot of various submissions about him, or maybe it was one of these guys had a lot of good submissions going into this match. Trying to work off memory here. But this was fun. This was I don't think it was very long. Trying to remember. Again, I probably should type more stuff out in my little Word document on the side. But I thought this was fun. Thought this was a good match, and kind of into Chuck Taylor because I haven't really seen too much of him, even though he has been a veteran of the indies to a degree. But I was into this. Thought it was kind of fun. Not nothing amazing, but still solid stuff. Then we got to the 30-minute Tag Team Gauntlet. This had some up parts and some down parts, I would say. There was definitely some upsides, and not all the upsides were kind of in one place. You kind of had the fun parts kind of spread out in a way that kind of made this not easy to sit through, I would say, but kind of not as hard to sit through as it should have been, because there was definitely some parts where this was hard to sit through. When Turtle Power and Dragon came out, that was a lot of fun. They actually, I didn't expect that to be very funny, but they actually managed to do a lot with what they had and make it very funny. That was, again, some of the best comedy of the weekend, I thought. And then when the Order of the Neo Solar Temple came out, I was like, okay, I thought these guys were kind of done, because I thought the B.D.K had kind of absorbed them by taking away their secret weapon, Delirious. So that was kind of fun to see them getting there. They didn't last very long, I will say that. They did not last very long at all. But it was kind of a quick bit of fun to see them. They were getting a face reaction, I thought. I guess they're against the B.D.K now. Anyone who's against the B.D.K is going to get kind of a face reaction. So that was kind of fun. I wish they could have lasted a bit longer in there. But yeah, that was kind of fun. And then when Incoherence tallied up 2 points, afterwards I was really into them, because I do like Frightmare a lot. And then the B.D.K music hits, and by God, did my spirits I kind of went into defensive mode almost, because the B.D.K music hits. I did not expect the B.D.K team, who turned out to be Sarah Del Rey and Daisy Hayes, to lose. I thought that a B.D.K team had already lost once, they weren't going to lose again, but they did, and it was awesome as well. Not quite as good as the end of night 2, but still pretty damn much of a mark-out moment to see a B.D.K loss again. Frightmare probably should have got the pin in this match. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure Partner did, but this was still this had the Gauntlet as a whole had some up parts and some down parts, but not horrible to sit through by any means. Then we got to Christopher Daniels versus Eddie Kingston. This was a better wrestling-wise match than Daniels versus Hollow Wicked, as you would expect and as you would hope, I suppose. It was fun, it had some good moves, and again, it had a good enough story to where I was into it for the whole match, even though the wrestling could have been better, I think, because Eddie Kingston cut a good promo, great promo, I would say, before the actual match. Once again, he affirmed that he has no interest in CHIKARA or the fans in general. He just wants to settle things with the B.D.K and with Claudio. And then after the match was over, when Tommy Dreamer cut his promo and challenged Kingston to a match for Anniversario, you had Eddie Kingston showing respect to the fans at the end. So that to me was kind of a turning point for his character a little bit, because up to this point he's been talking about how he doesn't care about CHIKARA, doesn't care about the fans if they cheer him or boo him. He just wants to get even with Claudio. And I've always thought that the B.D.K, as a storyline, the B.D.K could only be combated if Quackenbush and the rest of the Technicals were able to unite behind Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Kingston up to this point did not want anything to do with them, but now that he's showing respect to the fans, I think that might be the moment where he actually does start to work in coalition with Quack and the others and actually mount a threat to the Bruderschaft. So that was very interesting, I thought. It didn't really feel like that momentous, but I really kind of took that much out of it. Maybe I was kind of being a bit naive, but I like to think that's what's going to happen. Then we got to the Young Bucks or the Jacksons, I guess, Generation Me, whatever you want to call them, versus Quackenbush, Jigsaw and my Quackenbush. Awesome match, I would say. The best wrestling up until this point. A lot of great spots. What you would expect from these guys. Just a lot of fun. Once again, the two Jackson guys steal the show for 2 nights in a row, which makes it irrelevant that they lost. The Jackson 3 lost on the first night, which at the time I was like, huh? But yeah, definitely they stole the show again. Very, very good stuff. Then we got to Matt Cross versus Ophidian. This was a good match. Very solid, I thought. I was a lot more into this after Ophidian kicked out of the Shooting Star Press. Now I realized that was the match where it ended kind of out of nowhere, because I was just starting to really get into it after Ophidian kicked out of the Shooting Star, and it didn't last long enough after that for me to really think this was a great match. But it was a very, very good match, I would say. I believe I said the ended out of nowhere thing for the B.D.K Team Big Japan match. That was a mistake on my part. I apologize for that. Then we got to the main event. The main event, the B.D.K team of Claudio, Ares, and Tursas versus the Colony. This was awesome, to put it lightly. I will have a internal battle between night 1 and night 2 and night 3, and then over the 2 main events, because this was a lot of fun. Probably the wrestling wise and drama wise, this might have been better leading up to the finish, because there were some great spots here. What I said for the opener, the finish of the opener, they tried to use that again. I'm gonna, I believe I gave us. I thought I gave a spoiler warning at the start of the first video. I don't think I did, but I will put a little annotation there, because I'm going to reveal a great spot in this, just because I just going to want to marvel at how great it was, because the Colony tried to use the same finish that they did in the first match, and it backfired. It backfired in a big way. I'll just say that much, I guess, because Claudio countered it in a way that was just awesome to watch. Then there was a spot on the outside where one of the Colony just climbed up the scaffolding. That was very fun, very kind of took me off guard a bit. And then we got to the finish, which I think worked. I think it worked. I'm not really familiar with the referee. I know he's been in CHIKARA beforehand, but I think the finish worked because the B.D.K now has to resort to dirty finishes to win their matches, whereas before you never really seen them take this much of a shortcut. They might have taken liberties a few times, like low blows or that kind of thing. I can't actually remember, but they definitely never had to resort to a finish this screwy. So the fact that they've now made that transition from winning cleanly to winning like this, I think, was actually an indication of their weakness, or their growing weakness, even though they actually won this tournament. So that was a lot of fun. the battle between whether night 2 or night 3 was better. I finished night 2 with a much warmer feeling because it had a feel good ending, whereas this, I can't pretend it didn't kind of annoy me because I was really into this and I really wanted to see the colony win in a good face way. But it definitely was effective because of the B.D.K has now made that transition. I can't really argue with that, but the night 2 definitely left a better taste in my mouth, that main event, in a good face way. So definitely unresolved on which one was better, night 2 or night 3, but they're both awesome shows, and the night 1 is essential to enjoy night 2 and night 3 to the fullest degree, and it has some good stuff on it as well. So definitely these shows are highly recommended. Just great stuff. Don't regret the purchase at all. I'm out. Later.